All right, so you've got that Aries horoscope for October 10th, 2024, right?
No.
And you're ready to like really get into it. Yeah. Well, today we're doing a deep dive on those predictions, getting into the nitty-gritty of why those planets are where they are and what it all means specifically for you as an Aries, of course.
Exactly. We're going way past those, those general horoscope things. We're
Yeah,
talking about how this cosmic energy, right, how it might actually show up in your life as an Aries on this specific day.
gotcha. So the horoscope, it really seems to highlight relationships for Aries, mentions the sun being in the seventh house. So could you break down what that house is all about and how that solar energy, how it might play out in an Aries life?
Absolutely. The seventh house, it's all about partnerships, right?
Yeah.
I think romantic relationships for
Mm.
sure, but also think like business partnerships, close friendships even. It's that area of life where you learn about compromise, about finding balance, about building something that lasts with another person.
Right.
Now, with the sun, and that's your ruling planet as an Aries, with it lighting up this house, that natural Aries instinct, that go-getter energy, it gets channeled into, well, finding harmony,
Mm,
cooperating with others.
that makes sense. But Aries are known for being pretty independent. Like, how does that work with that whole me first Aries vibe?
That's where that recent Libra solar eclipse comes in. Remember that one? October
Yeah.
2nd.
Yeah.
Eclipses, they tend to shake things up a bit, right? And this one in particular, it might have, made you rethink what you actually want from your relationships.
Interesting.
So it's less about, charging ahead with just your plan. It's more about hitting pause, making sure your goals actually line up with the people you care about the most.
So it's not about like winning every argument. It's about actually getting where the other person's coming from.
Exactly. It's about using those natural leadership skills, those
Yeah.
Aries skills, to start those deeper conversations. Those heart to hearts, the ones that can lead to a better, more balanced partnership. Right.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Now, relationships, they're not just about feelings. There's often like shared money involved, shared resources, which brings us to Venus transiting the eighth house. Okay, now that sounds kind of mysterious. What's going on there?
Ooh, yeah. The eighth house is a fascinating one. It's about those shared resources we were talking about, right?
Sure.
Investments, any inheritances, even things like debts or taxes. It's all there in the eighth house.
Wow, okay.
Now, Venus being there, it suggests a focus on all that, like, encouraging you to be really thoughtful, really collaborative when it comes to money stuff with a partner or anyone you're close to, really.
So, like, should Aries be extra careful with money on this day?
It's not so much about being, overly cautious. It's more about being mindful. Collaborative, like I said, might be a good time to, I don't know, maybe have those conversations about shared financial goals,
Mm-hmm.
revisit a budget with your partner if you have one, or even just finally deal with that, that outstanding loan from a family member. You've been putting it off, right?
Yeah, I feel that.
But, Venus in this house, it can make you want to indulge a bit. So
Okay.
try to avoid any impulsive purchases or, going overboard with spending just because it feels good.
Right, right. Think before you buy. Makes sense. Okay, so we've covered relationships, we've covered finances. Now there's one more big transit to unpack here. Jupiter in retrograde. What's that all about? What does that introspective energy mean for Aries, especially with everything we just talked about, the relationships, the finances?
So Jupiter retrograde, it's not about bad luck. Right? It's really more like a cosmic push to look inward a bit,
Yeah.
reflect.
Okay, got it.
Which for an Aries, that could be a little tough, right? Because your instinct is to act, to move, go, go, go.
Yeah, Aries don't like to sit still for too long.
Exactly. But this retrograde, it's asking you to pause, to think about how you approach leadership. Like, are you really considering other people's needs, other people's wants, especially in relationships and when it comes to shared resources and finances?
So, like, for those Aries who are used to calling the shots, maybe this is a time to be a bit more, what's the word?
Could you-
Accommodating.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Imagine, for example, you're planning a trip with your partner. Instead of just focusing on the destination you want, this is the time to dig a little deeper. What does your partner want out of this? That's what real leadership looks like. It's about finding that balance, right? Asserting your needs, but also being considerate of others.
This has been incredibly insightful. So, okay, to sum it all up, October 10th, it's all about meaningful communication in relationships for you Aries folks. Think carefully about shared resources, finances, all that, and maybe try a more collaborative approach to leadership.
Yes, and remember, you hold the power. You can shape your day with these insights. It's all up to you.
Absolutely. But here's a little something to think about as we wrap up. Your horoscope, it mentions being open to changes. So here's the question. What's one area of your life, could be relationships, could be finances, could even be something totally personal that feels the hardest to change right now? And what would it actually take for you to be more flexible in that area? Just something to ponder as you move through your day. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, everybody.